Developing news this morning, authorities are trying to track down two offenders who escaped from a correctional facility for youth. Authorities say 18-year-old Michael de Herrera and 17-year-old Nicholas Davis both ran off from the CYFD Camino Nuevo youth facility. That's on 4th and Edith last night before 8. De Herrera is serving time for armed robbery, Davis for auto theft. If you know where they are, you're asked to call state police. Happening today, the deputy charged with murdering a fellow deputy is expected in court to ask the judge for a break. Former Santa Fe County Sheriff's Deputy Ty Chan is scheduled to be in court this afternoon in Las Cruces, where he will ask a judge to let him move back home to Santa Fe while he awaits trial. Chan is charged with first-degree murder in the shooting death of fellow deputy Jeremy Martin. Police say Chan shot Martin in the back 3 months ago at a Las Cruces hotel after a night out at a bar that sparked an argument. Police have not said what that argument was about. Chan bonded out of jail 2 months ago and now wants to get back home to Santa Fe.
We just want to be able to have him travel to Santa Fe so that we can work with him and evaluate the evidence that's coming in now.
Now, if the motion to allow him to leave Doña County is granted, Chan would be on house arrest in Santa Fe with an ankle monitor. The motion says the state is against the idea.
We're staying on top of the latest developments in the charges against a man accused of shooting APD officer Lou Golson during a DWI stop. A grand jury just indicted Christopher Cook. Lapel camera video shows Cook opening fire on Officer Golson after he was pulled over near San Mateo and Montgomery earlier this month. Cook ran off and was arrested days later. He's now facing a lot of charges, including aggravated battery on a peace officer. Officer Golson, meantime, is recovering at home. He's speaking publicly for the first time on Good Morning America. In that interview, Golson says he fired at Cook but could not reload his gun because when he fell, he broke his wrist. He says he wasn't scared about being shot, but about something else.
My biggest fear was he was going to get the vehicle started and run me over. Just because you get shot doesn't mean you're going to die.
Golson's bulletproof vest stopped 3 of the 4 shots. One bullet even went right through his APD ID card that he kept over his heart. Officer Golson says he's anxious to get better and get back to work.
Weather may be a factor in a crash that sent a New Mexico State police officer to a hospital. Officer Michael Wheeler was helping another driver along I-40 near Santa Rosa Wednesday night. That's when a driver rear-ended Officer Wheeler's patrol car. The officer was sent to the hospital with head injuries. He has since been released. The driver of the car, Joshua Sparks from Colorado, was cited for careless driving. Some heated words made for some tense and awkward moments during Wednesday night's city council meeting. At one point, Council President Ray Garduno left, and now one council member is speaking out.
I so adjourn.
And if the president wants to leave, he's entitled to leave.
And this all happened after Councilor Dan Lewis interrupted, saying he wanted to make sure they voted on appointments to the Water Authority Board. Garduno thought Lewis was out of line. The two went back and forth for several minutes until Garduno banged the gavel and tried unsuccessfully to adjourn the meeting. He later returned. Yesterday, we spoke to Garduno about that spat.
I'm sure that people have observed in other situations where things get off kilter, and I don't think it's anything to be concerned about, but it's certainly something that sometimes happens, and we just go on.
You cannot appeal.
Now, in the end, the council voted for Garduno, Sanchez, and Trudy Jones to serve on the Water Authority Board.
There are some new details about a mall heist in Roswell. Investigators say somebody broke into the mall and burglarized the TKO Vapor kiosk, stealing nearly $8,500 worth of merchandise. Police originally thought the burglar hid in the mall until it closed and then robbed the kiosk. They now say he broke in through a skylight and left by breaking through a door on the back side. The kiosk's owner is offering a $1,000 reward for information leading to an arrest. New England Patriots quarterback Tom Brady says he's not a cheater. The team is under investigation as they prepare for the Super Bowl, accused of deflating most of the footballs used during Sunday's AFC Championship. Brady says he was the one who picked out the balls for the game, but he says he doesn't know what happened after that.
I'm very comfortable saying that nobody did it. As far as I know, I don't know everything. I also understand that I, was in a locker room preparing for a game for 5 hours. I don't know what happened over the course of the process with the footballs.
NFL regulations state that footballs must be inflated to between 12.5 and 13.5 pounds of pressure per square inch. However, when they were inspected later on, they were reportedly 2 pounds too low. Deflated balls are easier to grasp, and if the investigation finds the team cheated, the Patriots could face a $25,000 fine.
A traffic stop that quickly turned deadly was caught on camera. Now a police department is under investigation. It happened back in December in Bridgeton, New Jersey. The traffic stop seems to start out normal, but in a matter of seconds, the two officers draw their guns. It's not clear as to what's happening inside the car, but the officers keep telling the suspect not to move.
I'm gonna shoot you. You're gonna be dead. I'm telling you. You reach for something, you're gonna be dead. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Keep your hands right there.
Now, there are reports that the suspect in the vehicle did have a gun inside the glove compartment. Despite orders not to move, though, the suspect tries to get out of the car. One officer pushes back to keep it closed. Seconds later, the suspect is shot and killed. Both officers have since been put on administrative leave. Happening overnight, a woman is dead after she walked into a police station with a knife. Police in Longview, Texas say last night the woman entered the station and made threatening moves towards officers in the lobby. She was shot and later died at the hospital. Her name is not being released at this time. Texas Rangers are now investigating. It's not clear if any officers were hurt. Time now is 5:07.
Thanks, Kristen. We're staying on top meantime of the reaction to an online attack against a Lobo basketball player.
A Twitter bully was making sick jokes about Hugh Greenwood's sick mother. She's battling cancer. This morning we checked, and it seems that account has disappeared, but not before taking the jokes too far. Lobo guard Hugh Greenwood had a big game against UNLV in Las Vegas Wednesday night. Around that time, a UNLV fan tweeted saying, quote, Greenwood's going to be driving his mom to the game in a hearse. The nastiness continued with, quote, we all know someone with cancer. Who cares? People die. And when I wake up tomorrow, my mom won't have cancer. If he was hoping to rattle Greenwood, his plan did backfire. Greenwood scored 22 points that game. Fans are backing the guard for calling out the Twitter troll.
Definitely want to prove somebody like that wrong, just shut them up, quiet them. The best way to do it is to do it on the court, which Greenwood did professionally.
UNLV's athletic director called UNM's athletic director about the Rogue fans' offensive tweets, throwing Runnin' Rebel support behind Greenwood. And the UNLV student section, the Rebellion, left a letter for Greenwood showing their support as well.
A new report from the law firm hired by UNM to look into how it handles sex assaults on campus. Breaking it down for you, it says the college has too many policies on sexual violence that are too confusing for students and staff to follow. UNM's Dean of Students says they're already addressing issues from that report. This comes amid the DOJ investigation into how UNM handles reports of sexual attacks. If you'd like to see the full report for yourself, we have it online right now at KRQE.com.
The man who's accused of shooting at a Bernalillo County deputy has quite the criminal history. Deputies say 25-year-old Alejandro Valdez stole a car, then opened fire on deputies in the South Valley Wednesday morning. At least one deputy shot back, hitting Valdez in the shoulder. Deputies caught up with him at an apartment complex, forcing Barcelona Elementary School to be evacuated. After several hours, Valdez did surrender. Here are some facts KRQE dug up. He was charged earlier this month with battery on a peace officer after he allegedly attacked an MDC guard. And in 2012, he was arrested after a stabbing at a house party.
Time is 5:34. Sheriff's deputies are searching for a suspected killer today. The Grant County Sheriff's Office issued a warrant for Steven Morales in connection with the death of 22-year-old Esteban Ortega. Ortega's body was found in a vehicle at Pinos Altos earlier this month. If you know where Morales is, you're asked to call Grant County deputies. A big cocaine bust at the New Mexico border, the biggest in fact in 4 years. And wait till you see how the man allegedly tried to smuggle that coke into the state. U.S. Border Patrol agents say 60-year-old Oscar Stella of Las Cruces told agents he was transporting 2 boxes of cement. But agents say the powder in those 2 boxes labeled cement was actually cocaine. They say the drugs have a street value of more than $400,000.
Listen to this. New Mexicans are some of the biggest spenders in the country, and they're spending money they don't have. That's according to a new study out by WalletHub, which looked at the percentage of income spent, not the total amount of money spent. According to the study, New Mexicans spend more of their money on car payments and credit card debt than anyone else. Only people in Mississippi and Idaho spend a higher percentage of their incomes than New Mexicans do.
We all need to spend a certain amount of money putting a roof over our head, utilities, transportation, clothing. So the lower our income, the more we're spending on necessities.
The group, the Financial Planner, also points out that many New Mexicans have government jobs with pensions, and those employees are more likely to spend rather than save their paychecks. The fighting begins on Capitol Hill. The Republican-controlled House passes legislation to ban the use of tax dollars for abortions, but getting it by the Democrat president will be tough. The bill passed with 3 Democrats joining the band of GOP supporters. One female Republican voted against it, though. President Obama has promised to veto the measure. The vote coincides with the 42nd anniversary of the Supreme Court's Roe v. Wade decision. The decision upheld a woman's access to abortion based on privacy rights in the Constitution.
Dozens of babies in California are under quarantine after visiting a hospital where an unvaccinated child with the measles was seen. The babies in Alameda County have been put on home isolation after possible exposure to the virus. The California Department of Health says no additional cases have been identified during the monitoring period. The average incubation period for the virus is 14 days with a range of 7 to 21 days. Developing this morning, investigators are still working to determine what caused a plane to crash into a warehouse full of explosive chemicals. 2 men, a pilot and a flight student, were killed in yesterday's crash. Inside that burning warehouse, chemicals used to make airbags.
We want to keep those chemicals wet because they're even shipped wet. So if they dry out, there is a risk of an explosion.
So crews doused the warehouse with water all the way late into the night.
King Abdullah of Saudi Arabia has died. He was considered to be a powerful U.S. ally, especially in the fight against al-Qaeda. He's also credited with trying to modernize and reform the Muslim kingdom. He is succeeded by his half-brother. Abdullah was 90 years old. The time is 5:38.